Who's how, Rams how, you know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast, hit like, share and link. Who's how, Rams how, you know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast, home of the champions. Who's how, Rams how, you know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast, hit like, share and link. Who's how, Rams how, you know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast, home of the champions. When I need a scoop on the league, I hit up the dream team. Golden Rams Buzz.
Thank you to our sponsor, La Brea Bakery Bread. Take and bake with La Brea Bakery Bread at all your local retail grocery stores, local and nationwide. Welcome to episode 13 of the Golden Ram Buzz with Damon and Sal, sponsored by Navarro's Taqueria, Recover 180, and La Brea Bakery Bread. Today our guest will be Saints fan Mack Jefferson, as well as Cal from Throwback Joe's. The Rams lose on Sunday Night Football, 37-20 to the Eagles, Sal. Barkley, a.k.a. Jim Brown last night, Sal, had 26 carries for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had long runs of 70-yard touchdown and a 72-yard touchdown. Sal, Saquon Barkley had a total of 302 total yards as Eagles come in and destroy the Rams, in my opinion, 37-20. Now, before I get into the game with you, Sal, I thought about you in the sense of this. Every time the Rams win the coin toss, you always ask why they deferred. Now you brought it up in a podcast episode, I always think about it. So this time the Rams get the ball first. They're marching down. They got some juice going. I'm like, okay, Sal's right, because you got to score. You know, even if you get a field goal, this is great. I'm like, I was there with my cousin. I said, Sal's right. Like what? I said, Sal always says, why do the Rams defer? Sometimes get the ball and get momentum. So Sal, the Rams have momentum. They're going down the field. And then what happens?
Well, I mean, it was nice to see him get the opening kickoff and march down the field, right?
Okay, yes.
So they start nearing the red zone and then fumble.
Who fumbled, Sal?
Kyron.
Now, Sal, hasn't he fumbled? It seems like he's fumbled the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah,
in crucial moments.
He's definitely struggling right now.
He is struggling, Sal.
It's difficult, though, because when you, going into the game, I mean, the Eagles are on a 6-game winning streak.
Yes.
Right? And so for the Rams to compete, you know that the Rams have to play, mistake-free football. We can't compete without, we're going to need a little bit of help. But also, we had to score a lot of points. So the Rams were doing that. It looked like they were moving in to score a touchdown. But after that fumble, you could just see, it seemed like the team was deflated. And then the Eagles, got the ball back and was able to, march down the field and score, not a touchdown, but a field goal. But it just seemed, for young teams, it's really hard because, little setbacks like that it could be devastating for a team.
As I recall, against Miami, didn't he fumble as well?
He did.
And that's a momentum killer, Sal. It's like, come on, you got the momentum and the crowd's involved in it. And then once he fumbles, you can hear the air come out the building because the building is already Eagles fans. We already know that. We don't have to talk about that, but we already know. So just to shut the Eagle fans up, it's deflating. It's oh man, then Eagles get the ball. If they get a field goal, they something. The whole trajectory of the game sometimes could be won within the first drive. You're smash mouthing. You're going down there, and then you lose the momentum.
You're establishing yourself, but I mean, it is frustrating when you have visiting teams come in with such a, when they're you could hear them, with the Eagle chant and stuff. It's a lot of the Ram fans I know that go to the games. It's demoralizing. Some of them don't even want to go back to the games when there's so many visiting fans. So it does matter. But I always tell people, you could take over the stadium as long as you don't take over the scoreboard, right?
And they did yesterday. They took over the stadium.
But the only way you silence that crowd is by scoring
and winning. You got to win. If you silent, you got to win. It doesn't if they come in. So they took over the scoreboard. They took over the game. And then also I want to apologize to Tron Jones. Yes, Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the NFL. Tron Jones, your Eagles came in and destroyed us. We have nothing to say. You're calling me. Hey, I talked to you. I said I'm going to come on here right today and say Saquon Barkley, after yesterday, is MVP running. Literally no question about it. The best running back in the NFL. What are your thoughts about that?
I agree with that. And not only the best running back, I think the Eagles are probably the best team in the NFC.
Okay.
Now, I'll give them that much. So,
okay, last week,
Tron was right.
Okay, Tron was
right about the Eagles. I knew the Eagles were good, but I didn't realize how good they were until I seen them in person. And I mean, they had an answer for everything the Rams did.
Now,
and that was tough to watch.
Last week I asked you your top 5. Who's your top 5 now? Who's your number? Start from the top to the 5th. So give me your number 1 team after. Who do you have?
Well, I never go by number 1 team, but I'll go with the top 5.
Okay, give me your top
5. I still think Pittsburgh, Chiefs, Lions, Eagles, and Ravens.
For me, Lions, Chiefs, Eagles, Bills, Minnesota. Those are the top. And it's crazy because that division, you think the Lions are running away with the division, the Lions are 10-1, but yet Minnesota's a game behind them, and Eagles are on their heels for best home field advantage. So at the rate, everybody think after Eagles won yesterday, everybody's like, oh, NFC Championship is it going to be in Detroit or is it going to be in Philadelphia? People are just jumping to conclusions like there's not going to be another team to stir the pot. You don't think so? What do you think? I mean, obviously we're Rams fans.
Well, the Rams, like yesterday, I mean, everything fell into place for the Rams, right? So all you want was an opportunity to take advantage of where the Rams were at. So, I mean, Seattle beat the Cardinals. And so, we had a perfect opportunity, and then Green Bay beat the Niners. So we had a perfect opportunity to gain some ground. But we didn't. But that NFC West is still wide open. The Rams are fortunate that we still play, the Seattle Seahawks, and also, so we play Seahawks and we also play, with divisional teams, but none of that matters unless we beat. We have to worry about ourselves. When you're hoping other teams beat other teams, that's when you're not focused.
And our prediction of 12-5 obviously is shattered now. Mm-hmm. So now I think the Rams have to win 10 games to go to the playoffs. Not 9, not 8. You have to win 10 games and win the division, in my opinion, to go to the playoffs. Because at 12-5, it's over now. What do you think about the division? 10 games will win to get them to the playoffs. 10-7
I
last
think
year.
10 will be enough. And another question, so do you really think that Puka Nacua didn't know that the Rams are in the NFC West?
I mean, that's going around. People make a big deal out of something. Puka didn't know he was in the NFC West. He didn't know. Is it that big of a deal? Man, some professional players don't know anything. They're just, of course he knows probably that they're in our division. He probably didn't know the division name or whatever. He's probably like, okay, we play Seattle, Arizona. You ain't got to know the name. You just got to know your opponents. You ain't got to be like, okay, we're playing, and then you just go, okay, we're playing the West, and these are our teams.
But when people you start reading the comments, some people were calling him Puka No Clua. I mean, to start having nicknames like that or start looking at Puka, in a way like that, it's just silly to me.
Sal, this is California. Everything gets emphasized. If I said Sal has clear skin and uses Neutrogena, Sal has clear skin and uses Neutrogena, I don't know what you use or not. Look at Sal's beautiful skin. I'm going to start a rumor. Everybody, Sal uses Neutrogena. See, now it's going to be a rumor. I'm going to go on Twitter, say it, social media. They're going to call you Mr. Clean Face, pretty boy. Because that's what happens in California. Things get emphasized. The smallest detail, it's like when you said 2016 when the Rams came back, Jared Goff, sunsets in the whatever it was going on, and the people.
Him what direction did the sun rise and set? But I mean, that was all part of But some people take it literally.
Yeah.
But Puka was just being so focused on, where he didn't even care about who we play, or he was just focused on his game. And you saw, he came to play. He had a big game.
Yeah, he did. But they didn't win, and that sucks. He went for 110 yards, no touchdowns, and I'm going with the NFC West standings as of today. Seattle, first place, 6-5. Arizona, second place, 6-5. Rams, third place, 5-6. The Niners, last place. Now I'm going to go over the NFC playoff standings. This is going to be a surprise. Lions, first place, 10-1. Eagles, second, 9-2. Third place, who's in third place, how you think? After Lions are in first place, Eagles are in second seed. Who do you think the third seed is right now?
I would think Vikings.
No, the third seed, if the playoffs started today, would be Seattle at 6-5. The fourth seed are the Falcons, 6-5. Mm-hmm. The fifth seed is the Vikings, 9-2. Sixth seed is Washington, and the seventh seed is Arizona, 6-5. I don't think that's going to hold up because Washington's been faltering. So the Rams, if they would have won yesterday, would have been a third seed, Sal. Obviously, the playoffs don't start today, but if the third seed, they started today, Seattle will play Washington. I don't fear any team in the NFC. I don't fear any team because we play each team tough. We just got to handle business, win our division, host a home game. But we got to win starting this week as we play the Saints. But
you know, like when you look at the teams in the NFC, right? And when you think about playoff, you know, when they start the playoff teams, one team you definitely don't want to go on the road and play is the Eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles at home is a huge task.
Yes.
I mean, I think they'll beat any team that goes to Philadelphia.
Okay. With that being said, we're going to take our commercial break. Up next, our guest, Cal from Throwback Joe. Thank you for the food, Navarro's Taqueria, located in Westminster, Santa Ana, and Fullerton.
Okay, so one of our guests today is Cal from Throwback Joe Jerseys. And so the owner, Cal.
Yep. How you doing, Sal?
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no
Thanks
problem.
for being a guest. And I mean, I've seen your jerseys all over tailgate. And
Now that you mentioned that, I happen to have one here for you. Golden Ram.
oh, Golden Ram. I love that. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah, even with the year I opened the shop, Golden Ram Barbershop, 1994.
Yep.
That's beautiful. Got the colors, everything right. Yeah, that's amazing.
That's right.
So tell me how long you've had the company and some of the people that have bought from you.
Well, the history of the company started back in 1999 with my friend Joe Verdugo, who started when the Rams left L.A.
Yes.
He wanted somewhere where Rams fans could buy Rams gear, throwback Rams gear.
Mm-hmm.
So he decided to open up Throwback Joe.
Okay.
2019, he came up to me. He wanted to be a partner with me. We were partners for a while, and then he decided, just pass the company on to me. And 2019, I took over.
Yeah, it's amazing because I know the quality and I see that I see a lot of your work everywhere, especially at the tailgates. But it's so nice that the Rams finally have, good quality Ram gear because it was difficult to find the throwback.
Yes.
The colors and everything that were correct and ones that, Ram fans felt, represented the team. So, yeah, I love the colors and I like the quality and everything. So
Well,
that's
thank
so
you.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons also for me purchasing the company is my passion for being a Rams fan,
Yeah.
and my passion to pass on the fact that the Rams fans have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
You go to the Rams fan shop and you get very limited names on what you can buy in a throwback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have custom names, custom numbers that you can order online.
That's great because, I opened my shop in 94, but I've always had, a lot of my customers come in and they're like, hey, I want to buy a Ram jersey, an older Ram jersey.
Right.
And a lot of them, my customers range from 2 years old to 97.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to a lot of Ram fans from different decades and stuff. So the fact that they're able to get Ram players from different eras of Ram football is kind of nice. So I'll be able to, pass on all the information and get them a jersey, especially with Christmas coming up. It'd be a perfect time and a perfect gift. So
They do make great gifts. I mean, people order them year round. It's not just during football season.
Yes.
They want them for birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, New Year's, whenever it's an occasion, and something unique.
Yes.
They give me a call or hit me up on my webpage and they put an order in.
Yeah, and that's cool because, for me, I wear Ram gear every day, so there's no off season. So I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. So, yeah, being able to pass on the information and, get them the jersey that they want. And also, like I said, they make great gifts and everything. It'd be a nice, especially the Father's Day would be, a great time also for the older generation that would be able to get a lot of their players.
Every year, every occasion, there's never no limits on what you can do with one. I've even had people make them for memorial services. Somebody's a passionate Ram fan, they would put their name on it and everybody would wear them at a funeral. I've had that happen.
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah. I mean, you want to go out in style. So
yeah, well, it is heartwarming too. Sometimes it brings tears to your eyes.
Yeah. I mean, Rams for life, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's really what it is. But I think it's great. I'm glad that company's doing well. You took over and things are going well. But like I said, I see a lot of your work out there and very impressed. And
well, thank you.
It's an honor to finally have you come down to my shop and talk a little Ram football. And I love the gift too. So
Yep, enjoy.
yeah, Golden Ram. I'll definitely be at the tailgate wearing that.
Perfect.
So that's gonna be.
Who to look for now?
Oh yeah. So yeah, it'll be nice to be able to spread the word, and I like when people work hard, and especially anything Ram related. It's awesome when you put your passion, not only just being like a business and a fan, but it's also the passion.
Yes.
So I appreciate that, and I think that's amazing.
Thank you. I agree with everything you say with about Ram passion.
Yeah.
I think if we both were cut right now, we'd both be bleed blue and gold. So.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And like I always say, a lot of us true Ram fans, I said, we're like the California condor. We're
right.
like an endangered species, right? So
exactly.
It's really cool to see, the different, the passion and stuff that you have. Also being able to, a lot of the throwback names and stuff. But, that Roman Gabriel hoodie is, that's definitely one of my favorites too. So I think that's awesome too. We lost him this year, but yeah, he was my favorite player, and it's cool to see. I see a lot of his jerseys out there.
Yeah.
Jack Snow was another one of my favorites. And so seeing a lot of these players out there is amazing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your dedication to the Rams.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for
hard
inviting
work.
me.
Oh, yeah. It's nice. I know it was a drive, but I appreciate that you came down here and shared some of your knowledge, and also, putting out a good product for Ram fans.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah. Thank you all. And again, Cal from owner of Throwback Joe Jerseys.
Yeah, so did you mention the Roman Gabriel?
Yeah.
Here's a Roman Gabriel hoodie that's a pretty good seller.
It's beautiful.
1960 colors.
Yeah, I love
Horns
the
on the
colors
hood.
and- wow, that's amazing. Yeah, he was one of the main reasons why I became a Rams fan in 1969. And I always felt like anytime he was on the field, we had a chance to win the game.
Definitely.
And he was always one of my favorite players. And so in my shop, I have a couple of posters I had in my room when I was a kid. And when the Rams won the Super Bowl 56, and they surprised me with the Vince Lombardi trophy, Terrell Burgess comes into my shop. He's holding a trophy. And when he handed it to me, the first player I thought about was Roman Gabriel.
Mm.
I always thought I thought about Roman Gabriel, Merlin Olsen. Some of the coaches, George Allen, all these great players that never got to hold the LA Rams trophy.
Exactly.
So to me, it was a tremendous honor. But Roman Gabriel, the love for him is amazing. And I love to see that, people still wear a lot of his gear and will always honor him as a Ram player. So, and as a Ram legend. So that's awesome. Yeah, that's a good seller. And I could see why. Definitely nice.
But unfortunately, if you want this one, you have to fight my wife for it.
Darn. I like that one. Yeah, that looks pretty good. What size? Yeah, Roman Gabriel, yeah, rest in peace, and will always be one of our favorites. Hey, this is Sal from Golden Ram Barbershop, inviting all NFL, especially Ram fans, to make an appointment, come get a haircut, and talk football, especially Ram football. Call me up. Let's see what you got.
Join us now, a lifelong friend I've known forever. He wrote a book called Many Men by Mack Jefferson. As you can see, he's an you know what I'm saying, Saints fan. I won't disrespect the man just yet. And also, one of the most important songs he ever created was for our podcast. He created our song. The theme song for this podcast was created by him, ladies and gentlemen. Our guest and my lifelong friend representing the Saints, Mack Jefferson. Mack, thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
As I can see you wearing your Saints jersey. This is Pierre Thomas, I can see, right?
Yes, sir.
So you brought the Saints jersry, the hat.
Sir.
Where's your paper bag at?
I don't need that.
The Saints.
We're not that bad yet. Not that bad yet. Hopefully we never go back to it. We almost came close, but we're not there. Hopefully we don't get there.
Now, you're born in Louisiana, correct? What part?
Yes, sir. I'm from New Orleans. Grew up in the 7th Ward. I grew up in a section called Holly Grove. That's where Lil Wayne is from.
Okay.
And then I grew up in another section that's called, this right next door to Holly Grove, it's called Gertown.
Is that where Marshall Faulk is from?
Marshall Faulk is from the 7th Ward. He is the pride of the St. Bernard Project.
Okay. And so you were born and raised a Saints fan.
Yes.
When did you move to California?
Moved here in 89, my brother.
Okay. And you're still a Saints fan?
Still
Back when they had Ruben Mays, John Forcade, and all them?
Pat Swilling, the whole Dome Patrol, Bobby Hebert, Steve Walsh. We had some we had some little crinkles, little stars here and there, But of course, it took us a while to get the ultimate goal, that ultimate trophy, the Lombardi.
And who'd you guys beat in that Super Bowl?
Oh, we beat another hometown guy, Mr. Manning.
Peyton Manning. That was funny. Now, were you? Obviously, you're a Saints fan, so your loyalties with the Saints.
Yes.
And so that was a great Super Bowl. They came and all that stuff. They ended up winning and the onside kick.
Yes.
Who's your favorite Saints player and why of all time?
My favorite Saints player of all time is Sam Mills.
Oh, okay, number 51.
Rest in peace.
Yes, okay.
Because he just, by today's standards, he would be undersized. But he played like somebody that was 6'5", and he was the heart and soul of the Dome Patrol. Everybody thinks about Ricky Jackson, Pat Swilling, but he was the captain of the ship. And so, he was real and drenched in the community and just an all-around good dude. And, when he went out there, win or lose, he left it all on the field. So, and I always respected that about him.
Now, me and this man had conflict, funny conflict, because one of the greatest games ever in Rams history, the NFC Championship game against the Saints. I say this, if the pass interference didn't get called, is it a pass interference? Your thoughts on that game?
Hey. Even Ray Charles can see that was a pass interference, And I was deeply hurt, but the football gods repaid us in the Super Bowl.
We ain't got to talk about that part.
Yeah,
no. Talk about the NFC Championship game.
Oh, we talk about that.
I think it was a penalty, but it wasn't called. And my question is this: the Saints had the ball in the red zone. All they had to do was run the ball, right? Correct. Right. And then who started off with the ball in overtime?
I believe I'll try not to think about it, but we did. But like we said earlier, the game, the NFL and just the game of football, period, it's a game of inches.
Yes, it is.
And hey, say you get 4 chances, but really you only get 3. Because if you get to the 4th down, then hey, a trick may work here and there, but 9 times out of 10, it's a wrap. And I'm not one of those type of fans that's not a realist. We had our opportunities, but hey, even despite the penalty, I'm a believer in we had other plays to where that shouldn't even have been
exactly.
That shouldn't have been the outcome. But you got to take your L's like you take your wins. And that's how I look at it. Was it frustrating? Yes. But again, you got to be a realist about it.
Now, what do you think about your coach got fired, Dennis Allen? You start off 2-0. You lost like 6 in a row. And then you guys won a couple. So tell us about what do you think about your coaching carousel? Your quarterback is not Derek Carr anymore. I think it's Spencer Rattler. What do you think about going on against the Rams? What are you looking forward to?
To be honest, hopefully Taysom Hill has another performance like he did.
How old is that guy? 45?
Man, it seemed like it.
He's been playing with.
He do everything, man. He pass, run, throw, kick, run the concession stand. You know what I'm saying? He's the janitor, parking attendant. He do it all. But I mean, to be honest, bro, Dennis Allen should have never been the coach.
Okay.
And like I said previously, at some point in time, you have to stop running Sean Payton's old plays.
Thank you.
Because the NFL, they study.
Yes.
What works one week is not going to work the next week. And we became repetitive. Almost you knew what we're going to do, on top of injuries and things like that. But I believe that the players, they checked out from him. You can't, it's just, he just wasn't it. And I mean, we can go deeper than that. I mean, with Mickey Loomis, you know what I mean? It's just the Saints have to stop being cheap.
Okay.
We have a bad tendency of getting players at the end of their prime.
Okay.
With the exception to Drew Brees. We draft good, but then we don't want to pay them, and these players go on to do greater things elsewhere, and that's always been our Achilles heel.
Before we go, Mac, very interesting take on the Saints. I'm going to talk about this book, Mini Win, written by Mack Jefferson. Yes, he wrote this book. I was one of the first to get it. I had him personally sign it for me. I read the book in 2 days, very action-packed, and I'm asking him, I need part 2. Tell us about this book. What made you write the book? And Let's talk about it and where the people can find you on your socials.
Well, this book, it came about, I wrote it, 4 years ago. I had surgery. At the time, the place where we were living, it was upstairs, so I couldn't go anywhere. And it was something that I always wanted to do, but I never sat down and focused. And I had MCL surgery, so again, I couldn't go anywhere. And my son, my oldest son, he always would hear me talking about one day. And man, he called my bluff. He threw a laptop. I was laying in the bed. He threw me a laptop. He's like, Here you go, man. Get busy. And I just wanted to write something because I like sports.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to show the other side of with high school stars, college athletes, like the other side that they don't talk about. They just show, the game and the glamours and glitz, but they don't talk about what I like to call the dark side, the agents, the extortioners, the bad women, the hanger-ons, nobody never really, and I just wanted to give my twist on it, and here we are, man,
Once again, Many Men, written by Mack Jefferson. I'm waiting for part 2. I need to be the first to get the book. And don't get mad if the Rams beat the Saints. They will beat the Saints this Sunday. And the score will be, I ain't even going to tell you the score. I just need a win. But this is a must win for the Rams. Mack, again. Hey, whose house?
Not your house.
Whose house? Rams' house. Get him out of here. Hey, I want the Rams win. So next time we see him, I want to put a paper bag on him and let him hide. Hey, once again, thank you, brother.
Always,
Make sure,
brother.
give me your socials, where to find you and stuff like that, my
You
man.
can find me on Facebook, Mack Jefferson. You can find me on Instagram, Classic Wear Clothing. You need a stocking stuffer, you should get it. This book is real important. If you know any kids that's, star athletes, this is something that they need to read, help them navigate. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on Barnes & Nobles. It's money that will be well spent. And I'm not just saying that, but I think this book, anybody will like it. If you're an avid reader, it's not drawn out. It's quick to the point. And, something I think everybody will enjoy. Book 2, you want to know the ending, it'll be out right before the holidays. So again, if you need a stocking stuffer, some avid readers, this is what you need.
Once again, author Mack Jefferson, also the creator of our podcast song, We Hear the Anthem, written by this man, rapped by this man. We're going to do a remix pretty soon. Stay tuned. Thank you, Mack Jefferson.
Always, brother.
Make sure you hydrate with Recover 180. All flavors. Make sure you drink and hydrate with Recover 180. That was a great segment with our guests, Cal from Throwback Joe and Mack, two creative people. Throwback Joe. After I seen him gave you that jersey, so I'm like, I know exactly what I want. Finally, I'm going to come up with something. And also Mack, creative with the author, podcast, the rap song he did for our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I just hope the Rams beat the Saints, so I don't have to hear anything. I don't wanna, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to, because if the Rams win, I'm going to bombard him. If the Saints win, my phone doesn't work. That's the rules. Everybody should know.
It's interesting, though. It was great. 2 great guests. I love always hearing their, their passion about what they do and creative minds. So it's kind of cool that they both came down. Both have, the jerseys were great. The book. It's nice to share that kind of love. And I love reading. So
yeah, I finished that book in 2 days. It's very catchy. It's just very grabbing because I like this. Like he talked about, I'm like, I finished it in 2 days. I'm like, hey, I'm done. Where's part 2? He's like, what? So I need that book. Give me part 2. So we're going to get part 2. Mm-hmm. So Sal, here's the AFC playoff picture as currently constructed. Number 1 seed, KC. Number 2, Bills. Number 3, Steelers. Number 4, Houston. Number 5, Chargers. 6, Ravens. And 7, Denver. Does it stay the same or does it switch up?
It switches up.
What do you think happens? Do you think?
It's getting kind of interesting, but I still like Pittsburgh, at least in the top 3. I think there's always like that wild card. The Ravens are really hard to predict.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the Ravens, they play well. And then, even another interesting team, outside team, is the Chargers.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think that I'm starting to notice that the Harbaugh effect is starting to come into play. I mean, they almost gave up that game, right,
to the Bengals,
time, but they were able to rally back and find a way to win it. But I think the Chargers are starting to look different. So that could be another team that could be in the mix in the end.
Can you imagine a playoff game at SoFi that's not a Ram game? Oh,
That'd
man.
be wrong.
I couldn't watch it. It hurt my eyes. I couldn't. I mean, I'll watch it to watch it, but I'm like, oh, this is terrible.
That'd be tough to watch.
So these are this week's games. I highlighted a couple, of course. Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, Bears and Lions. Sal, Lions should beat the Bears, right?
Yes.
The most unwatchable game, Giants and Cowboys. That may end in a 3-3 tie. Who do you got in that game?
I don't know. The Cowboys scored a lot of points against the Washington Commanders, so maybe they're starting to come around. Maybe they could put a 2-game winning streak. You never know.
Dolphins, Packers. I got the Packers.
Yeah, I'd go with the Packers also.
Seattle and Jets. Sal, we need the Jets to beat Seattle.
Boy, that's tough. Yeah, I'm going for Jets, but Seattle looks tough.
Now, this is a game, Cards and Vikings. The way I want of course, we want the Vikings to win, but the Cards may win like 31-17 or something. They'll do something unexpected, but I'm hoping the Vikings win.
Yeah, that's going to be another interesting game. That could go either way, of course, but I'd pick the Vikings.
Niners versus Bills. Let's go Bills. Niners are not going to win this game. Let's bury the Niners. If the Niners lose, they're done. This one's going to be a great game, Sal. Eagles and Ravens. Top quarterbacks, top running backs. This could be the battle for the MVP for candidates. Who you got?
I mean, isn't it interesting? You look at both have great quarterbacks, great running backs, right? To have all four featured in one game is going to be interesting. But I would go with the Eagles after watching what they did to the Rams. I would go with the Eagles.
And the best game of the weekend, Rams versus Saints in Louisiana. The Rams have to win. Sal, the Rams are fun. They got to win 10 games to go to the playoffs. Need to start in Louisiana. I don't know when. Sal, Rams. I mean, of course, we want the Rams to win. I want it to be. I don't like these close games, man. They make me nervous. Something weird things always happen. Spencer Rattler. I don't know. What do you think is going to happen?
You know, it's been like that since I was a kid. No matter what the Rams' record was, they'd go to New Orleans. It was always different issues. But I think the Rams will get back on the winning track and be able to beat the Saints. I think it'll be close. You know, the Saints, you don't know what you're getting. The Saints are improving each week. They look different. But hopefully the Rams have enough firepower to beat the Saints.
Yeah, because when's the last time we beat the Saints? NFC Championship game? At New Orleans? In New Orleans, right? That's the last time we beat them in New Orleans. That was a key game, but like a couple years ago, I remember Stafford almost had a concussion or just weird things happen when we played them.
Yeah.
So before we leave, once again, shout out to our guest, Mack Jefferson, and also Throwback Joe, Cal. Here's his card right here. As you can zoom in, please. Here's his card. Cal, hit him up for all your jersey needs, Rams jerseys. I know you guys like that jersey. I'm definitely going to hit him up and order. You know?
And what about that Puka Nakua? Yeah, do you see that hoodie? Let's take a look at that. That's pretty sweet.
I want that Puka Nakua. Throw that. Hey, let me see. Throw that over here.
I like that.
I think he gave this to. You know, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. He brought me he don't know it yet, but this is my new jersey he brought me. It's going home with me. He's not having this. Look how beautiful this is. Puka Nakua hoodie jersey.
That was great.
This is beautiful. Make sure you guys hit him up.
Christmas is coming up.
Thank you. He's such a nice guy. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cal, from Throwback Joe. Oh. Hey, with that being said, whose house? Rams house. Whose house? Rams house. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah. Whose house? Rams house. You know who we rollin' with. Rams Buzz Podcast. Hit like, share, and link. Whose house? Rams house. You know who we rollin' with. Rams Buzz Podcast. Home of the champions. Whose house?